Good evening, children. Let's do the next chapter in science, disaster management. Last whole week, over a period of 5 days, we did the chapter in small bits and we have written the notes, we have written the question answers. Now we will go through a quick read through and we'll keep it as for our records so that in future we can always go back and refer to it. सो डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट डिज़ास्टर मतलब क्या डिज़ास्टर मतलब जो दुर्घटना घटने से थोड़े लोगों को नहीं काफ़ी सो लोग जो उस कम्युनिटी में रहते हैं जब उनको इसका असर का नुकसान भुगतना पड़ता है उसको डिज़ास्टर कहते हैं। और मैनेजमेंट मतलब दुर्घटना घट गई उससे हम कैसे बाहर निकले उसको मैनेजमेंट कहते हैं। या ये दुर्घटना को होने से हम बचाए तो उसको भी मैनेजमेंट कहते हैं। सो मैनेजमेंट जो है वो या तो दुर्घटना के पहले हो सकता है या दुर्घटना के बाद में भी मैनेजमेंट कर सकते हैं। सो लेट अस सी व्हाट वी हैव टू नो अबाउट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट। कैन यू टेल what events do you see in these pictures? I'm referring to page 26 in your science textbook. What would you have done in the situations? Have you experienced such a situation yourself? Why do these events occur? So, in this picture on the top right hand side, if you can see, for me it's difficult to pose it. Here it is. Okay, I will just explain what the pictures mean. Please refer to it in your textbook. Now they mean one is an earthquake, then is an drought, famine, फिर बहुत बारिश होने से floods होता है, then you have fire, then you have tsunami, and finally you have volcanic eruptions. So these are all disasters. Now, in the next paragraph, they write about in 1993, many people died due to earthquake at Kilari in Latur district. Even today, people of Mumbai shudder of the memory of July 2005 when many people had lost their lives in the deluge caused by heavy rains. In July 2014, the whole village of Malin in Ambegaon Taluka of Pune district was destroyed in a matter of minutes due to a landslide. Many got buried under the heaps of soil and stone and lost their lives. Now, in November 2015, many people died due to the flooding caused by heavy rains in Tamil Nadu. What is disaster? A sudden event that causes large scale मतलब बहुत लोगों को large scale damage in life, property and social aspects of a nation or society is called disaster. What disasters can occur in school or on the way to school? According to you, what can be done to deal with such a disaster? Now, let us see what they say in the next part. Now, um, how and why do the following disasters occur? Floods due to rains, and earthquake, lightning, a volcanic eruption, etc. Forest fires, increased risk due to high density of population in a limited area, rampant and irregular constructions, ecological imbalance, terrorism, riots, and crimes resulting in bomb explosions, assaults, fire, and accidents. Disasters are of two main kinds: man made and natural. Earthquakes. Now let's do some individually each disaster management. Earthquakes, movements in the interior of the earth, release tremendous amounts of energy. This causes seismic waves leading to movements of the earth's surface like tremors, shaking, cracking up, etc. Such vibrations or quaking in the earth's crust is known as an earthquake. It's believed that besides other causes, man made causes like mining and construction of big dams, can also lead to earthquakes. Floods. Effects of earthquakes. What are the effects? Destruction of infrastructure, that is, buildings, bridges, roads, railways, railway tracks सब खराब हो जाते हैं. Changes in the direction of the flow of rivers. Huge loss of life and property. Floods. A frequently occurring natural disaster in all parts of the world is floods. Due to excessive rains in the same place, a river overflows its banks, causing a flood. The water drainage system in big cities falls short when there is a heavy rainfall, resulting in choking of gutters and drainage lines. Water overflows onto the roads and surrounding areas and even enters nearby houses. Effects of floods. Huge loss to life and property. Soil erosion. Destruction of standing crops. After effects of floods like spread of diseases and epidemics affecting and health of the people. So when I was telling you last time, I told you the difference between an epidemic and pandemic. COVID-19 is a pandemic because it has affected lives of people around the world. That's a pandemic. In an epidemic, it affects a country or probably a village or a state and so on. Now, storms. What are storms? The formation of high and low air pressure belts in the atmosphere causes changes in weather, resulting in strong winds or storms. Effects of storms. Great damage in the storm affected region, tremendous losses to life and property, disruption of electric supply, disruption of transport and communication. Forest fires. A forest fire is an uncontrolled fire in a forest, pasture, or grassland due to natural or man made causes. Forest fires spread at a tremendous speed. Effects of forest fires: great damage to natural wealth and biodiversity, pollution of the air. How many children are there in your class at present? What would happen if 5 times this number sat in your class? मतलब अगर 40 बच्चे अभी तुम्हारे क्लास में बैठे हैं, अगर 200 बच्चे उसी जगह में बैठे तो क्या होगा? Okay? Which kind of disaster can occur in an extremely crowded place? Disaster management. Community participation and disaster management are closely related. Taking steps to prevent disasters, making plans to face disasters, and developing the capacity for that is called disaster management. To prevent or reduce damage caused by natural or man-made disaster, emergency planning and management is required. Then you have, they have given the numbers of the disaster management, like the police. The police is 100, fire brigade is 101, ambulance is 102, disaster management cell is 118. Now we will go to the remedial and preventive measures. Let us see what precautions we can take before or in the event of a natural or a man-made disaster. Keep watching TV and radio news and bulletins. Use battery-operated radios and mobiles. Heed, matlab listen to warnings issued by meteorological department carefully. मतलब जब भी न्यूज़ में बोलते हैं कि बाहर मत जाओ, don't try to be smart and go out. Heed मतलब सुनो. Use websites www.imd.gov.in. Then landslides occur in hilly areas due to cloudburst or heavy rains. On such occasions, do not take shelter at the foot of a hill. During floods, do not linger in houses or areas in riverbanks. Seek shelter in safer places. Move to safer places at a greater height. Do not step into water currents or drive a vehicle into them. During an earthquake, roads split open. The ground cracks. Railway tracks get uprooted. Hence, when moving from one place to another, ensure the road is safe further on. Take shelter in relief camps as they provide medicines, food packets, drinking water, first aid, etc. रिलीफ कैंप्स मतलब कोविड के टाइम भी काफ़ी मंदिर और schools were reopened where food was supplied to all those who were affected. Now, first aid. In day to day life, sometimes we have to face disasters or accidents to varying proportions. On such occasions, it is necessary to give some medicines or even before medical treatment becomes available. External bleeding. If a person is bleeding, first make him sit or lie down comfortably. Keep the bleeding part of the body above the level of the heart and clean it with water. Burns and scalds. Minor burns. The injured part should be washed with water or held under water. Give the victim water to drink. Clean the wounds using a cotton swab soaked in an antiseptic solution. Do not apply oily ointments. Cover wounds using dry dressings. Serious burns. Give emotional support. मतलब बोलो be calm, be calm. Cover the wounds with sterilized cloth. Remove jewelry, shoes, etc. if easily possible. Do not touch, burst the blisters on the skin. Do not apply oily ointments. Do not try to remove the cloth if it is stuck for the burns on the burnt skin. If the patient is conscious, give water to drink, but avoid tea or coffee or other stimulant drinks. Get medical aid at once. Sunstroke. When we work in the sun continuously for a long time, the body loses a lot of water and minerals. That is the reason for sunstroke. Remedial measures. Take the patient to a cool place or in a shade. Sponge the whole body with cold water. Place a cloth soaked in cold water on the neck. Give plenty of water or liquids like sharbats to drink. If the patient feels like vomiting, make him lie prone, that is, on her abdomen with the head turned to one side. Get medical help or shift the patient to a hospital. Snake bite. There are nearly 2,000 species of snakes. Of these, only few like cobras, kraits, vipers, and sea snakes are poisonous. Therefore, all snake bites are not fatal. However, fear causes severe psychological shock which can result in death. If you come across a snake, contact a Sarpamitra rather than killing the snake at once. Remedial measures. Wash the wound with water. Give emotional support to the patient. Tie a cloth tightly around the wound. Get immediate medical help. Okay? Dog bite. If in a dog bite there is a risk of infection through the blood, hence the first aid and medical help are necessary. Remedial measures. Wash the wound with a solution of potassium permanganate or any other antiseptic. Cover the wound with a clean, dry cloth. Get doctor's help and an injection of anti rabies vaccine. So, what have you learnt in this lesson? A sudden calamity is known as a disaster. Disasters can be man made or natural. Alertness and immediate action are necessary on such occasions. Effective disaster management and use of remedial measures can help reduce the losses. Every person should know about safety precautions and first aid.